Good afternoon, Besame. How are you this beautiful day?
Hi,
It seems
Daphne. I'm doing great.
it seems like it's been a long time since we last did a podcast.
It has been. Daphne, I will have to say, I can't believe it's already April. And the
I
other day, I
know.
didn't even know what day it was. How has time flown? I just don't even know how that's even happened. But it's wonderful. Springtime now with all the trees are budding out and blooms are coming out. So it's a beautiful time of year.
Allergies are coming out too.
Yeah. We actually just had spring break, which, this podcast is all about eating empowered and eating mindfully as well, and knowing where your food comes from. And so, just doing this initial research, I know we're just scratching the surface on this, and I think it's absolutely a topic that will resurface and talk about again. But coming off a spring break, it's definitely a perfect time because I will say, it's going on vacation. You don't necessarily always eat the best way every single day. And I think that's where that 80-20 or 90-10 rule comes, depending on what you believe in. So, what do you think?
Well, I hope you and your family enjoyed the vacation because I'm sure you're not alone. Between the Easter weekend, the Passover weekend, April is spring break season. So I'm pretty certain a lot of families are hitting the beach, especially now that we're not all in lockdown. But the key is that when you choose to indulge, when you choose to have a good time, you just need to try and make healthy choices. If you're attending a family meal, or if you're going out, or if you're on vacation, you can enjoy yourself. You just need to have that. I think the 80-20 rule is right, where 80% of the time you're making the healthy choice. And that may include checking out the menu before you go to the restaurant, or asking to have the sauces or this, yeah, the heavy creamy items on the side. You are in control, which is why we're talking about being empowered when you eat. Those are just a few tips that come to the top of my head.
Yeah, no, those are great tips. And, I think you've even said it, eat healthy to feel healthy. And mine is, my quote that I always remind myself. And sometimes when, I'm watching my kids eat those fries and pizza or whatever the, junky food is, I'm like, oh, you are what you eat. So just remember, I mean, being so active, they can burn that off. But not, as you get older, the activity starts to fade away and you're doing different things and not so physically active. So you definitely need to be more mindful of what you eat. But you're right, vacation is important. It's okay to go off, but it's also equally important to get back on track. And I will tell you that a week of being off track, I definitely felt it and ready to get back into eating healthy. And also, it's really important for me as a parent to show that and teach those to my kids, because the pizza and the Doritos and that, while it's all very convenient on vacation, it's something that we shouldn't always eat all the time. And it's important for us to really understand, you know, even fruits and vegetables, Daphne. I mean, I think that those are some of the things that not all fruit and vegetables are cut out equal. Unfortunately, we live in an area of society where it's like we just need more. Where it's like ultimate consumption, and an apple should not look the same size as a grapefruit or be the same size as a grapefruit. And so, one of the things that I think is important for us to cover today is knowing where your produce comes from, but also,
Mhm.
making the right choices when adding more plant-based foods and fruits and vegetables on your plate. So, some of our viewers and listeners may have heard of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Each year they do actually go through a revision of that. And by dirty, we mean that just higher pesticides. So farmers are really adding more pesticides and harvesting these faster. Some are genetically modified as well to get them bigger, brighter, redder, greener, whatever it may be. And some of, I think it's important for us to know. So for our viewers, we will post the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 from an organization called the Environmental Working Group. And so this actually, what Daphne is showing is a shopper's guide. We will post a link to this. We'll also tag our friends at EWG, so they get credit for this as well. But this is a pocket size item that you could cut around. It's a pocket size document you could cut and keep in your purse, wallet, pocket, wherever, and just know what the Dirty Dozen is and the Clean 15. So surprisingly, it's always good to choose organic, but you don't always have to go towards an organic choice. Definitely organic for strawberries, spinach, kale, nectarines, apples, and one that actually I found really surprising was bell peppers.
Hmm.
Um, and then the Clean 15, like some of the thicker skin, like avocados, sweet corn, pineapple, onions, papaya, sweet peas. And again, we'll post the list. But those are some of the Clean 15. So what we mean by is definitely get the Dirty Dozen guide, those in organic. And Clean 15, when organic is available, get it, but don't get stressed out if it's not available. We always stress going to your farmer's market, or knowing, getting locally provided produce. If there's a produce stand nearby, now that warmer months are coming, that's always better. So, but anyway, so for me as a parent, I didn't really know all of these, and I was like, "Ooh, big apple," and it's like, no, like let's get a smaller one, more that looks real. So, Daphne, do you get all organic? Like, what's in your fridge right now?
That's a good question. And I just want to echo what you stated in that we want our listeners to add more plants to their plate. So if you can't afford to buy organic, we'd rather you just purchase the veggies and eat them, whether they're fresh or frozen or canned. But if you do have the ability to afford some of those produce that are on the Dirty Dozen list and can purchase them organic, those are the ones that I try and get in my refrigerator. So right now, having just moved, my refrigerator is a little bit lonely and empty. But when when I'm out shopping, I do try. I actually pull up the Dirty Dozen on my phone at times,
Mhm.
just to remind myself, especially for things like the celery, which I eat
Yeah.
weekly. The peppers, I think, was another one. The spinach, the tomatoes. I do try and purchase them organic if I can. But
Okay.
if especially knowing now that we're seeing a rise in food prices, really the goal is eat more plants, add more
Mhm.
plants to your plate. But we want you to be aware that there are health benefits to purchasing organic for some of those items that the Environmental Working Group has identified as on their Dirty Dozen list.
Yeah.
How about you?
So here's my thing, and I know other people are gonna either disagree or agree with me. So a lot of times, as a parent and busy mom of three, I try and get as fresh and
Mhm.
local produce. So we live next to a strawberry patch, and
Oh,
so getting fresh strawberries now, I can't claim that they're organic, but I can claim that they're the sweetest. They're not like the size of a melon. They are delicious. But I will say that I always keep strawberries on hand, blueberries, apples, and
uh-huh.
I do lean towards the organic. Same with grapes. So grapes,
Mhm.
you always have to wash those grapes as well. Organic is always good, but dang, sometimes the prices are so high that I just opt for, organic bananas or things like that. So, but always keeping the berries. My kids love berries and apples. They do love that. And I do give them that for snacks too. So there is a chocolate hummus. I don't know if you've
Mhm.
ever seen a chocolate
Mhm.
hummus. It's actually also easy to make, but a chocolate hummus, and I'll give them some strawberries, and they could dip their fruit in that as a good snack. But you know what, Daphne? I kind of want to hear what your favorite snack is, because I'm a snack girl. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a snack girl.
Do I need to rename you Snack Girl from Veggie Fest?
Maybe.
So I'm like you. I always have frozen berries in my refrigerator or freezer so that if I just want to grab some, then I can do that and throw them in a bowl and just eat them straight. The same thing, I try and keep frozen bananas available so that if I need a quick snack or if I want to make a smoothie, I can also do that. I'm a salty snacker.
Oh,
So some of my favorites are air frying garbanzo beans that I have seasoned with curry powder or chili flakes or something, a little bit of spice and a little bit of salt
yeah.
are kind of my sweet spot. The same thing with I purchased one of those microwave air popcorn poppers
Hmm.
so that it requires no oil to pop the popcorn.
Well,
So having some popcorn on hand is also a quick and easy snack for me.
I need to try the garbanzo beans because
Mm,
that must have a really good crunch to it too. And sometimes you want that crunch, and so naturally you're like chips, and chips is not on our healthy snack list. Though there are some healthy options, but sometimes you just need that crunch, and the carrot is just not doing it for me, or celery. So I'll have to check that out. The garbanzo beans is a good idea.
I mean, you can purchase them too, but
Yeah,
a lot of the purchase ones are prepared with some types of oils,
oil.
yeah, and sometimes that actually messes with my stomach. So
Mm,
if I'm traveling and I need a quick snack, I'll definitely choose that.
okay.
But if I can actually make them and pack them and carry them with me,
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I actually subscribe to a company called Vegan Cuts. We're not there's no affiliation
Yeah.
here with our podcast, but it's a company that sources out different sampler boxes of snacks. They do
Yeah.
the same thing for beauty products, but I get the snack box, and that gives me a chance to try things that I may not otherwise purchase.
Yeah.
So that's another way to try some new
I'll
snacks.
have to check that out because I
It,
know that there's other ones. And again, we're not affiliated, nor are we promoting any of these, but like Thrive Market or
Mhm.
a few other ones. I know that a lot of my friends actually subscribe to them and they get really cool snacks out of it. And some are vegan, some are not, but I'll have to check Vegan Cuts. That sounds amazing.
Earth Box is similar. You can also
Yeah.
get a vegan kind of curated box from Amazon. So lots of different options.
Neat. Yeah.
But Vesame, believe it or not, we're at time. It's hard to believe that 10 minutes have flown by. And, I just want to let our listeners know our main topic today was to introduce you to the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And we'll provide a link in the show notes and to the blog post to the sources from the Environmental Working Group. Because as always, our goal is just to provide some seedlings of knowledge for you so that you can make the healthiest choices for you and your family. More importantly, eating empowered means listening to your body. So if you're got the craving, if you're hungry for salt or sweet, you need to enjoy a diverse, very rich, very colorful diet, and that will help your health span and it will help your lifespan.
I couldn't agree more, Daphne. There is so much more to uncover. And in doing so, we would love to hear from all of you, our listeners and viewers. Please comment and share with us some of your thoughts and what other areas you would like us to cover and research a little bit more. You can always comment on this on Facebook is Perfectly Planted, on our blog post, which is perfectlyplanted22.com, and social media Instagram is It's Perfectly Planted. So thank you all so much for joining us. Like we said, 10 minutes goes by so fast, but we will revisit this. Really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Be well.